Hey everybody, welcome to this video guide for Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered on the Xbox Series X. Today we are completing Sequence 2, Memory 3, and getting 100% synchronization on it. And to do so, you need to make sure you do not fail any eavesdrops, you eavesdrop on a moving group of guards, and you remain undetected. So now that we've got all of that out of the way, let's get started with this memory.
Wonderful. Charles?
Sir?
Seems like we're not the only ones looking for Mr. Church.
Damn it, he could be anywhere. What do we do?
We find him. Come. I'll show you how.
Alright, so after that opening cutscene, we are going to be going through an eavesdropping tutorial. If you are familiar with eavesdropping in Assassin's Creed games, this will be very boring and very easy to you. Definitely take advantage of the time codes for this video if you are looking for a specific section. But if you are new to the Assassin's Creed series, maybe pay attention so that way you know what to expect when it comes to the eavesdropping objectives. There will be a ton throughout the rest of the game, so it's really good to know how to do this. As a basic rundown of what eavesdropping is, it is essentially remaining in a radius around your targets so that way you can listen to them. And those targets do have a chance to move, they have a chance to spot you, all that stuff. So as you can see here right now, they are looking at Hatham. So I'm just going to go and hide in between these two civilians here. You're going to do this anyways if you're doing the tutorial, but basically this is what you're going to be doing for any of the eavesdrops throughout the rest of the game. I'll get into specifics for how you can easily get away from their range in the section for moving eavesdrops, so that's required for the 100% synchronization. So I'll go more in depth later on, but from here it's just very easy. Follow the tutorial. And once you are done in this section, we are going to be moving on to synchronizing a viewpoint. If you're not familiar with that either, it's a tutorial to get up to the viewpoint and synchronize. It's very typical for Assassin's Creed games, and it's one of my favorite parts personally, but that doesn't matter. We are going to be going over to this viewpoint, climbing up the tower, and synchronizing at the top. So it's very basic. Just go ahead and climb all the way to the top, and then once you reach the top, press B or circle for PlayStation, and that will synchronize your viewpoint, and we can continue on with this memory. Alright, that's always satisfying to do, right? And then the jump off, always satisfying to jump into that hay bale after synchronization. But anyways, now that we have synchronized, we are going to go to our eavesdropping targets. There's one group for us to eavesdrop on really close by to our right, so we are just going to head there immediately. These are stationary targets, so we don't have to worry about any moving eavesdrops, and this one is going to be very easy. So all I need to do is get on the other side of this fence. You can see I'm up top. I figured if I'm in the radius and above, it should work, but it does not. So just move down below and head between these two civilians here, and you'll be able to eavesdrop on these two targets from the other side of this fence. It'll be super quick, so just take care of that, and then we'll continue on with the next eavesdropping location. And before we do move on to the next location, it is important to note that you cannot fail a single eavesdrop. I mentioned this in the intro of the video, but you can't fail any eavesdrops, so you need to make sure you are getting it the first try. Like right here, this is a very easy one to make sure you succeed in, because all you need to do is stand there. When it comes to the moving eavesdrop, which is going to be the very next eavesdrop, it does involve some complicated things, but it really is not super difficult. So we are basically done with this eavesdrop. We have succeeded. Now we can move on. We still have our optional objective available, so we haven't failed this one. That's a good thing. And we are just going to be continuing to the next location. I'd recommend you pay attention to where I am headed right now, because if you take a look at the map, you can actually see that there will be two eavesdrop groups. What you want to do is make sure you are headed to the moving eavesdrop group. So you see I took a second, looked at the map, and saw that the right group was the moving one, so I headed straight to them. And you can see there are no spots for me to hide here, so I just made sure they could not see me in their line of sight, and I hid behind the tree. Now I am just finding whatever hiding spot that is nearby them, and I am actually losing them because they're moving so quickly. So I hide behind these crates here, but then they end up wrapping around the crates, so I run over to the other side, and luckily I didn't lose or fail this eavesdrop, and I ended up being just right on time in terms of having no cover to get away from them, and then it ended. So I was pretty lucky in terms of the movement that they have. Hopefully you are too, and you're also prepared from seeing how, the errors that I made, but I still managed to succeed, so shouldn't be too much. And then we are on to our final eavesdrop, and this one is extremely easy. It is really close by, and all you need to do is take a seat on this bench and then wait for the eavesdrop to finish. And then after that, we are going to be headed over to the harbor where we are going to be finishing up this memory. All right, so we are just going to, skip all that eavesdropping, not necessary. And now we are going to be moving on to the waterfront. That is a new objective. So take a look at the map right now. This is where you'd want to head if you are trying to remain undetected. This is a very easy path to get to the objective, so definitely head there, and this is where you are going to start your approach and enter the restricted area. So you can see I'm going above all of the guards in this path. I'm managing to avoid everybody. There's only one guard you need to worry about. That is to your right here. They are above on the elevated platform, but they were turned around for me. Make sure they are the same for you, so your approach is just very easy. And then once you make it to the door, there will be a quick cutscene.
Locked. I'll have to find the key. Wait here.
Alright, so now we need to locate a guard leader to loot. You may be inclined to get the guard leader on the docks, but that is not going to be easy for you. It is going to be very hard to do that undetected, so I'd recommend you head over to the left here and get onto the roofs, so that way you can actually go and loot the enemy that we were trying to avoid on the run up to the door. So take a look at them. They are alone up there. All you need to do is make sure that when you get behind them, you are just not spotted by them and they won't turn around. So I'm waiting here. I'm waiting on the ledge. Once they turn around, I'm going to head behind them and then loot them. And then I can run off really easily without too much detection. I think I get slightly detected when I get away from him, but it's nothing to stress about. I looted them, and now it is just time to run away and complete this objective. Once you do get to this door, there will be a lengthy cutscene, and then we will finish up with our 100% synchronization requirements.
Here we are then.
Why must you always make these things so difficult, Benjamin? Merely provide me with recompense, and all shall be forgiven.
I'll not pay for protection I don't need.
Clearly, you do require protection. Else we wouldn't be here. How very gauche. Now, what shall we do about our guest?
Maybe I'll take his hands. Put an end to his surgery. Maybe I'll take his tongue. Put an end to his waggling. Or maybe I'll take his cock. Put an end to his fucking us.
So many options. I can't possibly decide. Take all three.
Now, hold a moment. Perhaps I was hasty in refusing you earlier.
I'm so very sorry, Benjamin. But that door has closed.
Be reasonable, Silas.
I rather think I was. But you took advantage of my generosity. I won't be made a fool a second time. I fear I lack the constitution to bear witness to such barbarism. Come find me when you're finished, Cutter.
You'll regret this, Silas, do you hear me? I'll have your head!
No. I rather think you won't.
Alright, so after that cutscene, we are going to be whistling, so that way we can draw one of the guards in front of us towards us, and then we can assassinate them. After they are assassinated, Lee will take out the other guard for us, and then we can easily approach Cutter undetected, and then we are going to finish up with this memory. So as long as you do it in this order, you will remain undetected throughout this memory.
A little bit from here, a little bit.
Who are you?
Hatham Kenway, at your service.
I don't understand. Why are you here?
Walk with me, Mr. Church, and all will be explained.
Alright, and that is the end of this memory. I hope that you were able to easily follow along with all of the 100% synchronization requirements. This one wasn't too rough, but when it comes to the waterfront, you can mess up really easily. But anyways, that is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please stick around and subscribe if you are interested in more content like this one. I post very regularly, so there's bound to be something you are interested in or would want to check out. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching once again. I hope you have a great day and take care.